So this is a comment on a video I did I published yesterday from Vehicle Diaries. It reads, he really want to have with the VIO official. Also job, will it be possible to put an ES9J4S into a 2002 Peugeot 406 that came with EW7J4 engine from the factory? As those who don't know, the ES9J4S engine is a V6 engine. You'll find in post 2000 or post 99 Peugeot vehicles. So now straight to your question. If you choose to do that kind of conversion, it means the easiest way to go about it is to get a donor car. Is it possible to do the conversion? Yes. How feasible or what will it cost? Like I said, the easiest, maybe it may be more expensive, but then the easiest way to do it is to get a donor car. A donor car means you have a project car, which is the 406 with EW7J4 engine. Then a donor car is 406 with that V6 engine from factory or stock. So that's the only easier. That's the easiest, not even easier to do it. Because the reason why I'm saying that is it's not just the engine we are going to transplant or swapping. You have to remove the engine, radiator, the fan, the gearbox, the exhaust, the engine wiring harness, the body or dashboard wiring harness, the fan wiring harness, the BSI, the engine ECU. See, like I said, it's as good as just get another 406 with that V6 engine and do the swap. So what it now means is it not better to buy another one? I will do it if I have if I have a 406 with your 1.8 or EW7J4 engine that looks clean enough, or that I have some sentiment or sentimental value attached to that vehicle, then I will consider such conversion. If you want it done neatly, another option you could do is you start buying. But I think that may even cost you more, or you might get frustrated at some point if you are buying parts separately to do the conversion. Remember, all these things the things I mentioned are more like the major part. There are also miscellaneous that have to go in, that it may end up spending more than 200,000 in the process. So it may be easier. But the thing about donor car is, when you get a donor car, the donor car will serve you mostly for some of these miscellaneous that you may not even be able to find if you go into market to look for this part separately. Take it from someone that be doing conversion for years. There are some parts that when you want to do a conversion, you may be very hard to find. These are not wearable parts that every now and then you'll be changing, or dealers will be stocking to do. No, these are parts that usually stay in the vehicle forever, or the vehicle is stop existing. So nobody usually stocks those keep those parts to sell. Even when they do, there's sometimes to stay too long in their shop, they will get rid of them, or they'll keep it before you know it is sold. And you take another. Imagine how many 406 VC do you have compared to the 4 cylinders. So how many of them are scrapped? So if you scrap 20 406 4 cylinders in a month, the VC, before you scrap a VC, it may take a year or 2 years to see a scrapped one. So even if such parts are in high demand, as it's coming out, somebody else is buying it. So when you want to do yours, you probably may not find it. That's what I mean. If you want to go into market to find that part, because for example, the CV joints are not the same. The bracket, what's it called? See, there's so many things. If I start going to it, this video may take an hour. If I start listing every part needed to do this kind of conversion. So what usually happen is some of these past dealers, used past dealers, when they scrap cars like this that are not that common, so they will stock those parts, keep it together. They won't sell them separately. They will keep everything as a kit, so that anybody that wants to do this kind of conversion will now come and buy them completely. So it will be easier for that person and cheaper for that person as well. We buy everything once. But here is the thing. Yours is the reverse in terms of demand. Majority of Nigerians downgrade from this ES9J4S to EW7J4, EW10J4. But we are doing it the other way around, which is what I will also do. So people won't really bother to keep parts for the ones that people are running away from. Remember, it's ES9J4S, so Nigerians with their uninformed and yeah, being uninformed, they run away from these VCs. So dealers that will scrap them may not even bother to keep those parts, because to them, who will buy this thing everybody's running away from? So they most probably will crush them or sell them to people that buy aluminium or stuff like that, you know. So that will be the hard part of the conversion. But is it doable? Yes. Can I, if I were the person to do the conversion, will I do it? Yes, but that is me. Because when I want to do stuff like that, I'm willing to go any mile to get it done. No matter how long it takes. What else do I want to point out? There are people that I know that have did similar conversion, but in this case it was downgrade, not upgrade. You are doing upgrade. They did downgrade. So they downgraded from the ES9J4S to EW7J4, EW10J4. About two people I know, what they did was they didn't even change the complete engine wiring harness. But I think they found the electricians that came and tinkered with the wire, doing cut and join, trying to make it work no matter what, they found, whatever it is, they didn't change. They changed the engine wiring harness. They didn't change the what's it called, the dashboard wire or the rest of the wiring harnesses of the vehicle, which comes from the fuse box straight to the tail of the vehicle. So it's possible, but I doubt. For a V6, it may not be able to work with dashboard wiring harness of that of EW7J4. But that of V6 wiring harness may be able to. The reason why I'm saying that is EW7J4 in 406 does not have motorized throttle body. The V6 has. So the way they do the wiring connection, they did it such a way that the motor, it has to connect to the motorized throttle body, and then the accelerator pedal sensor, all that. So unless you have to find a way to connect these two components, because the connection, the wiring harness won't be on the 406 with EW7J4. Remember, the connection is not on the engine wiring harness, so it's not a matter of, oh, if you change the engine wiring harness, this connection is completely different from the engine wiring harness. It's on the body of the vehicle, the wiring harness on the vehicle. So you have to find a way to create that harness, and the V6 as well, the sockets, the V6 wiring connectors or the wiring connectors on the V6 engine ECU, that's ES9J4 engines, they are different from that of EW7 or EW10J4. So I don't know what will you do about that. Remember, there's a wiring connector. is it one or two that comes from the so-called dashboard wire to the ECU? Then maybe I think about two now goes to the engine. That's two connectors will come from the engine wiring harness. I forgot, I'm trying to remember, because it's only three connectors that you find on engine ECU. So one or two, I can't remember, it could be one or two, must come from the dashboard wiring harness. So these are the factors. See modern cars, when it comes to these are not 504. You can do cut and just remove the mechanical sample. Modern cars, your headache will be more on the electric cars. These are so that's the thing. You can as well just look for a 406 with a stock V6 engine that you want. They're hard to find now. People, like you can say, people were running away from them, but now people like me have been able to prove to Nigerians that they have been mistaken. They have been lied to, and they have been living in fantasy, thinking these cars are horrible to use. But I've proven them wrong with mine, and probably a few other people as well. So now everybody is, some people have realized that and started looking for these cars, which are now scarce. Before they were all there. In fact, they were almost like the cheapest forces you can buy. But now, you know, so it's doable, but there are risks or factors involved that may be discouraging. So I don't know if you are willing to go that extra mile. So either to buy donor car or buy separately, no matter how long it takes or matter what it costs. You may be looking at close to ₦1,000,000, less or more than ₦1,000,000 to do this kind of conversion. Now, there are people that did this downgrade. I want to point it out so you understand why when I do this kind of conversion, they usually cost more than people expect. People that did this downgrade from ES9J4 to EW7J4, EW12J4 have ended up selling off their vehicles immediately after the conversion. They will do it because they've been told by their mechanics or uninformed online people, or people who have zero knowledge on these cars, or people who used abused ones and they messed them. They were messed up by the issues these cars were giving out. So they go online or start advising people to stay away from VCs. The people who probably have gotten VCs, they will read it and say, you know what, I don't want to have this experience this person is having. Let me convert to E10, blah, blah, blah. So they will do this conversion only for them to sell it off days, not even months, days later. Reason being, like I said, they try to cut corners in the conversion, only for them to realize the car became worse than whatever they were running away from. If you don't get the wiring harness, even like I said, you mustn't change that dashboard wiring harness. All you need to do is find someone that understands the system, look at it, get wiring schematics, or and go to see the one you can. But just like I said, that of the V6 one might be very difficult to use EW7J4 dashboard wire to run ES9J4S engine. You could do it the other way around, but I'm not so sure. But then anything is possible. All you need is find the right person to make it happen. Worst case scenario, you will modify the dashboard wiring harness, create more wires or more. I'll add some wires, to make some of the electronic functions on the ES9J4S to work. Because that of the EW7J4 and 406 have more of mechanical control. Not like, well, it has more mechanical control than that of the ES9J4S. So people who do that now realize, man, this is a mess. So if you really want to get it right, the way I do my conversion, be willing to spend. If you're not ready to spend, don't bother. Like I said, that's why I'm no longer interested in doing conversion from Nigeria, because they don't actually understand. They all look at things like, oh, 100,000 should be able to do it now. Why would you spend more than that? We don't do this conversion, I'll repeat it again, because it's cheaper than buying another one. Most times it costs more than even buying the car or a full car without engine or transmission you want to do. Or you want your car to turn to or become like. But we do it because of that's who we are. We don't look at the cost. We enjoy doing it, and at the end of the day, we feel very satisfied in life, as in we've been able to do this, period. It's a joy to us that we do these things and come out successfully. That's all. So money is not where we are looking at, whether we have the money or not. So if you are doing it because you want to, maybe it's a cheaper way to own a V6, may not be for you. Trust me. You may go into that conversion, become so frustrated that you won't understand until you get into it. That's what I'm saying. So that's why majority, at least I know 2, 3, 4, 5, if not more, of people who attempted this kind of conversion by downgrading from this V6 engine to EW engine. Like I said, days later, not months later, they will put the car for sale. After they realized it was a mess, that these conversions they did was just a mess because it wasn't properly done. They are not willing to spend to get it right. So you may have to consider that. Any other thing to add? I don't think I do. So think it well, and just look for. I don't know how. If you are an enthusiast like me, the best way is you could do it. I have fun doing that. But don't come back complaining. Look at you spend fortune doing this and yet this and that. So go and get another 406 V6. Better for you. If you want to go into it, go ahead. I wish you the best. I will do the same if I were you. But I'm not you. I don't know how your interest in cars are. Okay, that's all.